Not accepting other people's bad behavior. Hello, y'all. I'm Diana Brienne. Well, have you ever been in a situation where people say, oh, you just need to overlook their bad behavior, their bad choices, or whatever they're saying that's not nice. Just overlook it. And, I think a lot of times in toxic family environment situations, people are taught that. Just overlook it. You be the bigger person in the room or whatever. And sometimes we do need to overlook things. Sometimes we do need to ignore things. We need to know what to ignore and what not to ignore. Some things just are not worth our time to pay attention to or to address. Other things need to be addressed. And yet often in unhealthy situations, people will take the person who is doing the right things and kind of lay blame on them for the person who's doing the wrong things. And so in other words, they're telling the person who's doing all the right things, just tolerate, just overlook the person who's doing the wrong things. And for me, I don't agree with that. That's just my personal opinion. I believe that, there are some things that I just overlook. I don't address every issue. If it's not going to affect me or if it's very, very minor, I will just overlook it most of the time. And yet if it's going to affect me or bother me or it's going to disrupt the environment that I'm in, often I will either leave that environment or I will address the issue. And yet often it's other people will say, well, why don't you just overlook it? Why don't you just overlook it? Well, remember, it's not my choices and behavior that's affecting or infecting that environment. It's someone else's choices and decisions. And so they're saying to the person with the good behaviors, just overlook it. You be the bigger person. But in toxic situations or unhealthy environments, often that just simply doesn't work. Those bad behaviors just continue to grow and escalate. And somehow often they have to be addressed, whether it's leaving the situation, removing ourselves from the situation, distancing ourselves from the situation, or addressing the issue in a right and proper way. Otherwise, often those kind of things are just going to grow and grow and grow. Now, there are some situations that we can overlook it. It's not a toxic situation. It's just kind of a here and there thing or whatever, and it really doesn't disrupt or cause any major issues or anything. And often it's just not worth addressing, and that's fine too. So we have to know what should we address, what should we not address. But we should never feel badly because we are addressing the issue. And yet sometimes in unhealthy situations, the other people will say to the person who is doing all the right things, hey, just overlook it, be the bigger person. Why did you bring it up? You didn't need to bring it up. Why did you say anything? Well, I kind of maybe said something because it wasn't right what was going on. And I saw that and it was affecting the situation I was in or affecting myself, or I simply got up and left. So the key is not to make ourselves out the bad guy for bringing up an issue that's very apparent and not something that should be going on anyhow. And yet often that's the person that other people turn to and say, oh, well, you shouldn't have brought it up. Well, why not? If it's disrupting things, why not address the issue? And so I don't believe that we should ever feel badly about addressing the issue in a right way. From my house to yours, may God bless you. I hope you like, share, subscribe, and I hope to talk to you soon again. Bye-bye.